This is not about you, right? That's honest, yes? You do. You don't think this has anything to do with you. You saw the headlines there, Making My Mark, Suicide Prevention Awareness, Education and Outreach, and you're thinking, oh, God, you're kidding me? You know, I will make the presentation, I think, good enough for you to at least listen to, okay? Give me your attention, and I'm going to touch you with some ideas at some point, okay? Let me also say this. I never thought I'd be here either. Never in a million years. In fact, if there's any, you know what stereotypes are? We say, well, this person does this, that's kind of fits. You know, I don't fit the mold of somebody that would be speaking on suicide. I'm a very positive thinker, a lifetime of happiness and success. But I'm here because I lost a son to suicide at age 27. And I'm going to show you how that happened. And I'm going to show you how you need to be prepared for life's problems. And I'm going to try to make a case that you'll understand. For example, you remember, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we lost 13 soldiers in Afghanistan, right? Yes? Tragic. And for the next week, you turn on the TV, and every day, that's all they talked about, right? 13 men died, or 13 soldiers, some women, died in Afghanistan, and that is tragic. Yes? You'd agree with that. Horrible. And everybody was talking about it. I'm here to tell you that today, in the United States, 129 people will die by suicide today. 1 every 12 minutes. So you say, well, this doesn't apply to me. Well, maybe it does. I'm going to show you a video in just a second that we're going to kind of play with throughout the presentation. But I'm going to get your attention by saying, you say it can't happen? I say it can. I hope it doesn't. That's why I'm here. But 129 a day will touch somebody. Mental illness and stress and trauma are real. And they affect your brain. For example, let's go back to the Olympics. 2 months ago, right? Who knows who Simone Biles is? Most of you, she's the GOAT. What's a GOAT? Greatest of all time. We've watched Simone Biles compete, and she's the best gymnast in the history of the world. She is perfection. And every time she performed, it was perfection. But yet in this Olympics, due to stress and trauma, her performance and her behavior were impacted. Wow, she wasn't perfect. I'm not saying she's suicidal. I didn't say that. I'm just saying if she can get the yips, you can get the yips that are a problem. Yes? One more thing, and then we'll get the video going. As you look at me today, I've got a lot of problems. I've lived a long time. I've had a heart attack. I've had cancer. My knees look like I'm 95 years old because I've just ruined them my whole life playing all the 3 sports. You know, 3 sports, basketball, baseball, football, right? Now y'all have added soccer in there somewhere, tennis. But the 3 things is what my whole family did, and my body feels it. Now, all those are physical problems. Some I caused, some just happened. Yes? And if physical problems can happen, then this mental problems can happen as well. Yes? That makes sense, right? And you may or may not control those. Those can be chemical or otherwise. We're going to show you a video here. It's pretty cool. It certainly fits Oconee County. Take 2 minutes to watch. This is my vacation. This isn't my video, but it's from where I was. It will show up in a minute, I'm sure. Or maybe it will. It will. It has before. So I told you you'd like it, right? How is it so far? Pretty good stuff, huh? Yeah. We got Nick on the scene now. Who thinks he's got a better chance of getting fixed? Yeah. Ah, here we go. I think we're close to action here, guys. Find that little arrow. There we go. Give us a little more volume there, Coach, if you can. That's good. This is the Arkansas River in Colorado. And it's scary right here. All right, if I can break this down for you just a minute. We paid a lot of money to do this, and basically they put our whole family into a raft, right? And put us in the Arkansas River, and it is gorgeous. The mountains all around, you're in a canyon, you're going down the river, and life is good. It really is. It's fun. A little wave here and there, a little excitement here and there. Everything's really good, which is the way life is a lot of times for most of us. Life is good. I've always believed that. I've always taught that. Life is good. But here's what I've learned as I go through life. Crap's going to happen sometime. And in this case, you're going down the river, and it's called a suck hole. A suck hole is when you hit a turbulent area. You notice a lot of the rafts went through fine. But if you hit that suck hole just wrong, it will turn you around, flip you over, toss you out, and you're in that turbulence. And that turbulence is what they do. It churns you. You go up, you go down, you go, and think about this. I know the water in the Arkansas River, I was there in June, 45 degrees. So you hit that water and go, it's scary, man. And all you see is your life passing before your eyes. Now, some people fall off and get pushed down the river. Good thing. Not a little bit of a problem, and not bad. My wife and I both got stuck in the suck hole. And you really literally went up, boom, down. And you're like, dang, what just happened? I can't see. I think I'm going to die. I really do. Life is over. Because I can't see anything. I'm just in all this water. I'm up, I'm down. I'm like, I just keep circling. I thought I was in there for 2 days. I was in there about 12 seconds. But I thought my life was over. What I didn't know was a lot of people that loved me were reaching for me. Take my hand. I was, whoa. I was just in a bad position. Well, that analogy works for me as far as explaining life. Life's good most of the time. Pretty, challenging, exciting, fun, until it's not. And here's what I want to tell you this morning. You are going to lose. You are. You're going to have problems. You're going to have tough times. People are going to let you down. You are going to let people down. Your best friend's going to mess with you. Some of you are going to be abused. You are. Some of you are going to be bullied. You are. We hope not. I hope that doesn't happen to anybody. But I'm telling you, at some point between now and 92, you're going to have problems. It's real. Okay, so that's what and I want to show you that when you're in that suck hole, sometimes the best advice I give you is just hang on. There's not a magic formula, just hang on till it's over. Sometimes you'll come out sooner than later, but you will come out. But just hang on and rely on others. Now we're going to show you some stats here just to make my case. I work a lot with stress and trauma. And I have a theory that when stress and trauma collide with a massive event, like a relationship breakup, you've got a volatile or you know what the word volatile means? Yes? Who knows what volatile means? Raise your hand. What is it? Yeah, it could be hostility, it could be you snap, but the situation is kind of unpredictable, that's a good answer, good job. That's what volatility is. Let me show you a few things real quickly. One suicide every 12 minutes, inexcusable. 25 attempts for every suicide. Now, before anybody calls me on this, I do a lot of research. I read some places that tell you that number's 16. I have seen it 30. I have seen it 12. Here's what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter who's right. It's bad. A lot of people are making attempts on their life. Not good. Second leading cause of death in that age group. All right, go ahead. We're going to give you a lot of stats here in a hurry. 22 veterans every day die by suicide. You know why? You ever thought about that? You probably haven't. Those are men. For the most part, there are some women involved in this, mainly men. You know why? What do we tell you as you grow up? I bet you've heard this a million times in your life already. You get upset. What do they tell you? Come on, boy, be a man. Right? And then what they tell you to do? Be a man. Well, what's a man? Don't cry. Don't talk. Don't tell anybody you're upset. That's what men do. That's stupid. Right? It's just dumb. But that's still what you're told. Yes? Okay, so 22 veterans have died. That's 150,000 since 2001. We've only lost 10,000 in Afghanistan with them shooting at us. We lost 150,000 voluntarily. And nobody's talking about it. And it doesn't care who you are. You can be rich, athlete, you can be a celebrity, it doesn't matter. Anthony Bourdain, y'all probably don't know who that is. His job was to travel the world and eat. That's all he did. That was his job. Travel, eat on TV. That's what he did. Suicide. Suicide. Kate Spade, multi-millionaire fashion consultant, made purses and stuff like that. Move on. Robin Williams, maybe the funniest guy ever lived. Suicide. Okay. You know, El Paso happened several years ago. It lost 23 people to a mass shooting, and everybody went crazy again, which they should. I'm not knocking that. On the news every day. We have 6 El Pasos, the equivalent of 6 El Pasos happen every day in this country. 6. And nobody's talking. The death rate in the United States is low. We're living less time. Now, it's the first time it's ever dropped in our history. The life expectancy, and 3 reasons: alcohol, drugs, suicide. Crazy, right? So we're starting the conversation. And we're telling you, first of all, it's okay not to be okay. If I have cancer today, I'm going to the doctor. If I had a heart attack today, and I have had one, I'm going to the hospital. If my knee snaps in just a few minutes, and it looks like it might, I'm going to an orthopedic. And if I have anxiety or depression, I'm going to a specialist or to a friend or to somebody who can help me. It's okay to talk about it, and it's okay not to be okay. Causes, this is a partial list. Relationship issues, financial problems, poverty, trauma, stress, pain, parental conflicts, all kinds of things that can cause situations that put you in a bad place. Keep going. The stigma is we don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about cancer. We'll go on to football. Every football team in America will have a game this year, and they'll be talking about breast cancer awareness. Everybody wearing pink. Nobody minds talking about breast cancer. Suicide prevention Friday night. Ugh. Dang. You know what? More people will die of suicide than die of breast cancer. A lot more. And a whole lot more in your age group. This is a problem. This is not an outlier somewhere. This is a huge problem. Okay. Now, go ahead with that one. Just depression is real. You know, when somebody says cancer, people are getting, that's terrible. If you have depression, people say, you should read a book and get a better attitude. What? Read a book, get a better attitude? That's not depression. That's you. You might be depressed. Your team lost Saturday. You might be depressed, but you don't have depression. Depression is real. It's as real as cancer is. So don't be mindful that is a real thing. Keep on. 129 a day. Females try to commit suicide more. Males commit suicide more. Not good. Suicide is always preventable, and it's always the wrong choice. You know what? Somebody loves you guys. And now, let me tell you, and you know it, you're middle school kids, right? You're middle school males. Let's face it, raise your hand if you agree with this. You're pretty daggum hard to love. Yeah, that's right, those hands up. Yeah, you're in a rough age, and you know it all, and you're right there at that age where you're kind of stupid. No, I'm just teasing. It's a rough time thing to be a teenager. Yeah, you know it. We embrace that, right, guys? Yes, we're proud of that heritage. Anyway, males, so you're going to have issues. All right, let's move on here. Here's the things you watch for. Isolation. Somebody becomes isolated. Watch for that. Mood swings. Acting differently. And they're just crazy all the time. Don't say crazy. They may just be crazy. But you see a change. He's not crazy anymore. Oh, weird. Changes in friends. That's a big one. Who he used to hang around with, he's not hanging around with. I do say, guys, I'm very frank. It's hard to be a kid today. When I was a kid, pretty easy. That was a long time ago. But you have the social media, and I want to be very quick here to say, I am not an old man who is telling you everything's problems because of social media. I love social media. I'm on it all the time. It does present problems. People mess with you. Be willing to get off social media. Don't spend too much time. Do something else. If you're an artist, draw. If you're a doodler, doodle. If you're an athlete, go play. If you need to run, go run. Do something. But get off that. Give yourself some breaks. Be smart about proper use. Okay, so look at those warning signs. When people say these things, they'll say, nobody loves me. Nobody likes me. I don't matter to anybody. All of those are 100% false. I promise you, no matter the most obnoxious middle school kid in here, somebody loves. Your teachers, your principal, your assistant principal, they really do care for you. They do. Or they wouldn't be doing this morning. I care for you and I don't even know you. Or I would be out, I could be back in Colorado this morning. I'm retired. I don't have to do anything. You know, and you say, well, you're old. No, I'm not. I know I may look old to you. Maybe don't look old to you. Sure, be honest. Okay, here's the truth. I can do everything you do. You know the difference between me and you? I'm smarter and got more money. Right? So my life's pretty good. Yeah, just kidding about the smarter part. Okay, now, so the deal is, you know, life's good. But I love you guys. I want to talk to you about this problem we have. So you say nobody. Now, somebody can say, I just keep messing up. That could be right. You'll get it right, keep trying, or do something else. Here's a word I want you to learn. Can we say it together? Everybody say that word, resiliency. That's good. Y'all did good on that. Yeah, smart folks over at West Oak. Okay, resilience, who knows what it is? Ability to bounce back. You know what? I think, and I know it's up there, it's good. But you called it out. Go, brother. You get the prize. But here's the deal. I was a teacher for over 30 years in Oconee County. I taught AP History. I taught Economics and Government. I love teaching, and I love content. Man, I love this history stuff. But you know what? In high school, in middle school, you know what we really need to learn? How to live. Resiliency is necessary. You know why? Because what I told you earlier about on the river. What's going to happen to you at some point in your life? You're going to lose. You're going to fail. You know, I was a basketball coach for over 30 years. Oh, well, actually 39. You know, we did a whole lot of in 39 years. Win. You know, we also did a lot of lose. And you lose a whole lot of games in 39 years. You just do. Okay? So coming back from failure is something that's very important to an athlete. When you fail, learn and fall forward or fail forward. So the best advice I can give you is, in fact, when something bad happens to you, you should be thinking, awesome, man, awesome. Bad stuff's happening. I'm getting stronger. That's the truth. In fact, in my practices, a lot of days, I would come to my practice and make sure that we failed. I'd make it so hard. And I'd have individual players. They're going to fail today. But then we build them back up. Learn through failures. Thank you, Coach. Develop strong relationships with members in your group, your community. Have a connection with somebody, a coach, a youth pastor, a friend, an administrator, somebody that's a go-to, because you are going to need them. You may not need them now. You may not need them for the next 30 years. I have I'll wait. But you develop a close relationship with a mentor, develop friends who are supportive, stand up for yourself and stand up for others. Move on, dear Jason. Now, ask for help when you need it. Don't be a man. Be a man, obviously, but that's just a bad definition. Participate in a lot of school activities, a lot of groups. Go to things, be active. Be a giver. If you help other people, your life will be better as well. I promise that's the truth. Now, we'll talk about a AAA plan. Failure is a part of life, so fail forward. I want you to have a AAA plan. Appreciate that. I'll be careful. I'm pretty quick for an old guy. I have in my wallet a AAA card. Okay? I have traveled over 2 million miles in my life. 2 million, that's a whole bunch. On 2 occasions, something bad happened. AAA is an emergency car assistance program. And here I am in South Georgia in a car accident one night, and boy, my car is in shambles. I need help now. I reach in my wallet because I know this is there. I call AAA, they come get me. Life is good again. My problem is solved. You need a plan for when you get in a bad place like this. Not a car problem, but a life problem, a mental problem, a depression, an illness, or whatever. You need to be able to know what is your plan. Next year on your school IDs, they're going to put the Crisis Suicide Prevention Lifeline telephone number on every student ID in South Carolina. I think it's a great idea. Not that everybody needs it, but you need to know who to call if you do need it. So have a plan. Also know that what you do, that there's power in your words. You're a guy. Y'all you guys are in here. Good fellas. Learn to be supportive of others. We used to talk about in basketball. All your words are powerful. Say things that build people up. Don't bash them, build them. Be positive. Your words mean something to people. Say good things. Have healthy relationships. Get involved with stuff, and then be observant of what's going on around you. Suicide is preventable. And again, I hope I've convinced you that the numbers are bad. Have I? The stats, they don't lie. Sometimes stats do lie, but these stats do not. Have I convinced you, I hope I have, that at some point in your life you're going to have a problem? Say yes or no. Yes. Yes, you will. Everybody agrees with that? Miss Gambrell, you ever had a problem? Every day. You ever had something that was really difficult? And, again, I bought a car. This I'll share it. I wasn't planning to say this, but I bought a car in June from a friend of mine. Good guy. Played baseball at University of South Carolina, and he and I have been friends for 40 years. He works at a car dealership in Easley. I stopped by there yesterday just to say hello. Bought it in June, remember. I walked in and said, "Where's Hal Parker?" And they said, "Hey, you don't work here anymore." I said, didn't know. When he moved? They said, "Well," I said, "Where is he?" I thought he was at another car dealership. He's in hospice. I called him last night. He's got about 2 weeks. Pancreatic cancer. Inoperable. It's a problem. So he's 69. He's older than I am. I'm 66. But the thing is, his life was great till it wasn't. Cancer is real, but also the things we're talking about, mental illness, just as real. So don't think it couldn't happen to you. It happened to me. Go ahead. Failure is something that is an opportunity to grow. So we want to, be in a support group with your parents and school coaches that you can do that. Go ahead. Now, I'm going to show you what I lost, and then I'll answer any questions you may have. We created this Make Your Mark organization so we could do something about suicide in our country. It's too much. And you know what? I told you I had a heart attack. I told you I had cancer. None of those are anywhere close to finding your son dead. And this is what I lost. This is my son, Mark. He died on February 23rd, 2015. He got in a dark place after a relationship problem, and he had some luggage, some baggage coming into the situation. And in that dark moment, he felt alone. He took his life. You know, those are great pictures. They're great memories of going to the beach and playing basketball and going to Clemson stuff and Christmas, our pets and things that kind of are our life in a nutshell. You know what I don't have? I've got great memories. I got no new pictures. I want some new pictures. Won't ever have any. Suicide is permanent. So what I tried to challenge you today to think about was, today is probably didn't cross your mind. It won't cross your mind when you leave this assembly for the rest of the day, probably. But when it does, promise me you'll have a telephone number you can call. That you'll create a relationship with somebody, a coach, a teacher, a parent, a pastor, a Boy Scout leader, a band director, somebody that you know you could pick up that phone and you know that somebody on that other end of the line loves you. I used to give my players practice things every day, different things, a tennis ball about bouncing back. I gave them one day a rope. It was like this long, just symbolic. And I asked them this question: who would you want at the other end of that rope if you were hanging off a cliff? Who would you? You fill in your own answer. And you think about, you could have Arnold Schwarzenegger, at one time the world's strongest man. Is that who I want up there? No. A Clemson football player? No. You know who I'd want? I'd want my dad. You know why I'd want my dad there? He's not turning loose. He's not as strong as Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's not as strong as the Clemson football player, but he loves me. He ain't turning loose. No matter how, he won't catch a cramp. There won't be a problem he turns loose. You need that person. Find that person. But also make sure you are willing to contact who you need to contact should you have a problem. I appreciate you helping me with my wallet there. I think I'm missing. Am I missing anything? You didn't mess with my money, did you? Okay, all right. Now, see if I have a question they'd like to ask. I know this is a tough place for questions, but if you got one, I'll answer it. Yes, sir.
My mom is a friend, and her dad died. Not my mom's dad, but
Your friend's mom. Friend's name, yes.
yeah. They photoshopped a picture of him holding their newborn. I was wondering if you could do the same thing.
I mean, Photoshop stuff? I guess I could, yeah. I mean, people, I do know this, people deal with death in their own way. I don't ever tell anybody what to do, how to do. Like my wife and I, for example, it is hard. Lynn and I deal with this in two different ways. She's very supportive of me being here this morning, but she couldn't be here this morning, no way. Things that made me feel better make her feel worse. So yeah, everybody deals with death and those things in a myriad of ways, that's for sure. Anyone else? Well, guys, I've enjoyed being with the guys this morning. Good group. Oh, and are you going to ask me your question?
Sure.
She's got a question for me. She asked you at the first assemblies.
Because it was female, he was talking about how he used to teach and how he's coached. He's seen so many people play. So my question, Coach Dunlap, is who is the best female basketball player you've ever watched in your career?
Now, remember, I've coached for 39 years. And I've been around the block a time or two. And I was at West Oak High School one night, and they had this little girl named April Wood. Wow. Best player I've ever seen ever. Yeah. And she's Miss Gambrell now. So yeah, your principal's a baller, a player. That's right. She can go. No, hey, whoever said that, I don't know where it came from. I still beat you. I don't know who you are, but I will answer this. No, you can't. Later, if y'all want to play horse later today, put my money on Coach. Hey guys, I appreciate your attention. These seats aren't real comfortable. You hung in there real good. Thank you.
Okay, guys, before you go, and